So we all have that one friend we know that seems to have it all, and it becomes very easy to start to compare all of our worst qualities to their best ones, and we start to feel bad about ourselves. After all, comparison is the thief of joy, right? Well, yes and no. In this video, I want to share with you why I believe comparison in itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but can actually help us in becoming better people if we use it the right way. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Angela and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk all about well-being, self-improvement topics. So today's video is all about comparisons. It's a topic that I think we can all relate to because we are all constantly comparing ourselves to the people that we know, the people that we don't know, to the people that might not even exist. And as humans, we are social creatures. So it is in our DNA to want to compare. And it was very important for survival. In our tribes, we needed the ability to compare in order to know everyone's strengths and weaknesses to build a healthy, functioning community. It was also probably useful to be able to compare because we really didn't want to pick fights that we were not going to win. And there are two main types of social comparison: upward and downward social comparison. Upward social comparison is when we compare ourselves to the people that we believe that are ahead of us in life, the ones that are better than us. And downward social comparison is where we compare ourselves to the people that we believe who are quote unquote behind us in life or worse off than us. So neither of these types of comparisons should be labeled good or bad in itself. So it is the way that we perform these comparisons and the meanings that we draw from them that really has the impact on us. So in order to put these concepts into practice, I have made you an example. So let's say Jane and her friend Emma both decide to improve their fitness and they decide to join a gym. So they both do their own things and a few months later, they meet up to compare their results. Well, it seems like Emma has been progressing quite a bit faster. She was able to lift heavier in the gym and she was seeing physical results. And as a result, she was becoming more confident. Jane, on the other hand, really hasn't noticed any results. She hasn't noticed any changes in her strength and seems to be struggling with the whole process. This in turn makes Jane feel bad about herself. She feels like she's probably not very talented, that the universe is probably against her and there is no point in doing it. So she decides to quit. So in my example, Jane in this case is performing upward comparison. She is comparing herself to her friend Emma, who is currently ahead of her. However, at the moment, she's not doing it in a very healthy way because her mindset at the moment is very self-deprecating and not very useful. So this is how Jane should compare. Wow, Emma is doing so well in the gym and I really wonder how she's progressing so fast. I wonder what training program she's on and what is her diet. I mean, I know that we are completely different individuals and our journeys will look different. I'm very curious and I want to learn. So I'm gonna reach out to Emma, I'm gonna compliment her and also just ask her what she's doing and ask her for some tips. This way, she is acknowledging that upward comparison and the fact that she feels like her friend at the moment is currently ahead of her in her journey. However, instead of it being an attack at her own self-esteem, she is using it in a positive way. She is using it as an opportunity to learn and grow. So instead of feeling envy and jealousy, she feels optimistic and inspired. So Emma in this case will be performing some form of downward social comparison. She realizes that her friend Jane is finding this a lot more difficult than she is, and the not very healthy mindset for Emma to be performing would be a judgmental one.
Wow, Jane is pretty bad at this. What a loser. I am clearly a superior human being. Yay, me.
So Emma could be adopting a healthier mindset in order to perform downward social comparison. She can think that, wow, Jane is finding this a lot more difficult than me. I know that she's working a stressful job and I actually have this personal trainer friend who has given me a really good program and I probably know a few things that she doesn't. So let me share them with her. Let me reach out and try and help her. This is a much better and healthier mindset for Emma to adopt. But instead of coming from a place of superiority, she is empathetic. and she wants to help the people that are behind her, and this becomes a win-win situation for the both of them. So I'm going to share with you 5 tips in order to learn to compare in a healthy way. So my first tip is that you need to be aware of your social media use. And we know from the scientific literature that increasing social media use is linked with decreased and worsening mental health. But this does not mean that we need to go right now and delete all of our social medias. Social media is designed to take advantage of our natural human tendencies to want to compare and to form social connections. And it does a job in creating a particular image of ourselves that we deem acceptable to show to the world. And it can therefore represent a very skewed view of reality. So my tip is that if you find yourself comparing a lot with the people that you follow on social media and start to feel bad about yourselves, I recommend that you need to start unfollowing the people that you feel like are negatively impacting your mental health. And that might not be any fault of theirs, it's just at this particular moment in time, you're not finding it helpful. Okay, my second tip, and that is find role models in your everyday life. Usually when we think about role models, we think of big celebrities like Ronaldo or Beyonce. Whilst that's all and great, and it is very good to have some big role models to admire their work ethic and their habits, for the most of us, their lives can seem a little bit out of touch with ours. So I recommend that you find role models in your everyday life. I really believe that there's something that we can learn from everyone. And don't try to be like them, try and learn from them and adopt what you've learned into your own life and become the best version of yourself. Recognize that you are your own individual and no one else can ever be a better version of you than you can. So don't ever try to be like anyone else. And remember, you will never be a better Beyonce than Beyonce is at being Beyonce. My third tip is that you need to start supporting the people that are behind you. It's all well and good having role models. However, sometimes we can be caught up in always aiming high and pushing forward that we forget to look behind us and lend a helping hand. So not only do we need to have role models, we need to be role models. So teach other people what you know and give back to the other people. And don't let your inner critic tell you that you are not good enough and that no one would care about what you have to say. Some things that might seem obvious to you, other people might find it life-changing. Don't let your perfectionism tendencies fool you into thinking that you have nothing to offer. And please watch my video on perfectionism if you haven't, after this video of course. Looking behind us also makes us feel grateful for what we have and teaches us not to take anything for granted. Okay, my fourth tip, and that is understand other people's hardships. Really try to have deep conversations with people and try and understand others. Usually a lot of us in conversations talk about superficial external things like the football match coming up or the weather or the concert that you're going to. And that's all okay, but occasionally you do need to go a little bit deeper. To have a true connection with someone, you need to understand their feelings, their fears, their insecurities, what their dreams and hopes are. Those are what really binds humans together. By understanding other people's pains and struggles, it demystifies them. And the person that you think that might have it all turns out might just have the same worries and the fears as you do. And when we realize that everyone else has struggles and are like us a lot more than we thought, and we can form deeper connections much more easily. And this is the opposite of the Instagram effect I was talking about. And once we really connect with someone on a deeper level, we can truly be happy for them and genuinely root for other people. And I tackled this in my last video where I talked a little bit about the scarcity mindset. Remember, when there's more for other people, that does not mean there's less for you. So instead of feeling resentful and envious of other people's success, actually genuinely be happy for them and become their cheerleader. And my fifth tip, and that is start practicing past self-comparison. Sometimes reflecting on the worst times of your life can make you feel very grateful for the moments that you have today. Think about a time where perhaps where you are at the moment was once a goal, a dream, and be really proud of the progress that you have made. And some of us might feel like at this moment in time, we are in a particular bad place. And we might look back on our lives at a particular moment where we felt life was simpler and it was happier and everything was easier and want to go back to that. Remember, all we can do is look back on those fond memories and really be grateful that they happened. But we need to keep moving forward. and we need to have the attitude that there will be more better times to come. So this is everything from me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please help me support my channel by liking this video and subscribing to my channel and clicking on the bell notification. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.